Stand in the ruins of any ancient city, and you will feel it. The silence, the weight, the ghost of something that once believed it would never die. Run your hand across broken stone. This was once warm with life. These were not villages. They were the center of the world, where decisions shaped continents, where trade routes determined destinies, where kings, scholars, warriors, and dreamers carved their mark into history. They built walls to keep enemies out. They built temples to reach the heavens. They built monuments to defy time itself, and every one of them believed they were eternal. But time has never answered to stone. This is the story of the greatest cities that once ruled the world. Babylon, the first city of power. Imagine approaching Babylon in 600 BC. The desert air is thick with heat. Caravans stretch across the horizon. Then rising from the dust, walls, massive and impossibly tall. Blue tiles shimmer under the sun. The Ishtar Gate stands adorned with lions and dragons blazing in gold. A young merchant pauses beneath that gate. He looks up and believes this city will outlive him. He believes it will outlive everyone. Babylon stood between the Tigris and Euphrates, the cradle of civilization. Here, agriculture flourished. Trade routes converged. Writing, law, and astronomy advanced within its boundaries. King Hammurabi's code carved justice into stone, order from chaos. Above the city, the hanging gardens were said to rise in terraces of green, a paradise defying the desert. Whether myth or truth, they symbolize something powerful, humanity bending nature to its will. Babylon became more than wealthy, it became dominance made visible. But power attracts challengers. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great entered the city. There was no apocalyptic collapse, just a transfer of power. The merchant who once stood beneath the gate now watches foreign banners rise. Trade shifts, influence relocates. The great walls erode. The city that defines civilization becomes dust. Rome, the city that became an empire. Now imagine Rome at its height. Stone roads echo with thousands of footsteps. Markets overflow with noise and color. In the Colosseum, 50,000 spectators rise as one. Beneath them, a gladiator stands alone in the arena. He looks up at the roaring crowd and realizes something unsettling. Rome is not eternal. Rome is hungry. This was not merely a capital. It was a machine. Aqueducts carried water across vast distances. Public baths, libraries, arenas, infrastructure centuries ahead of its time. But Rome's greatest weapon was not the sword. It was integration. Conquered territories were absorbed. Citizenship expanded. Roads stitched together provinces. At its peak, Rome governed over 60 million people, one city directing 3 continents. It seemed unstoppable, but empires rarely collapse from a single blow. They decay. Political corruption hollowed leadership. Economic instability strained foundations. Armies pledged loyalty to generals instead of the state. In 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire fell. The city endured, but the world order it commanded dissolved. Even the eternal city bowed to time. Alexandria, where knowledge ruled. Picture the harbor of Alexandria filled with ships from Greece, India, Africa, and Persia. Above them stood the lighthouse of Pharos, guiding sailors home. Inside the great library, a scholar leans over a scroll by lamplight. He does not know he stands inside one of humanity's greatest intellectual experiments. The ambition was bold. Collect all knowledge in existence: geometry, medicine, astronomy. Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy. For a brief moment, humanity stood on the edge of enlightenment. Then came conflict, war between empires, religious upheaval, political instability, scrolls blackened, ink curled, knowledge turned to smoke. The destruction did not happen in a single dramatic night. It happened gradually, fragment by fragment, idea by idea. Alexandria teaches a chilling lesson. Civilization can regress. Progress is not permanent. Some losses are irreversible. Tenochtitlan, the city on water. When Hernán Cortés first saw Tenochtitlan in 1519, he was stunned. A vast metropolis rose from Lake Texcoco. Causeways stretched across shimmering water. Canals carried canoes loaded with goods. In the marketplace, tens of thousands gathered daily. A young girl rose produced through the canals at sunrise. She has never seen Europe. She believes her world is the world. At the center stands the Templo Mayor, heart of the Aztec Empire, organized, innovative, powerful. Then ships appeared on the horizon. Smallpox spread invisibly. Alliances fractured. Siege warfare tightened around the city. Starvation, disease, desperation. By 1521, the canals ran silent. Within 2 years, one of the largest cities on earth became rubble. On its ruins, a new colonial capital rose. The lake was drained. History was rewritten. Chang'an, the eastern capital of the world. While Europe fractured after Rome, Chang'an flourished. During the Tang dynasty, it may have been the largest city on earth, a perfect grid of order and ambition. Markets buzzed with Persian traders. Buddhist monks arrived from India. Poets recited beneath lantern light. A messenger prepares to leave the Western Gate, carrying silk and ideas. The Silk Road begins here. Paper spreads. Gunpowder refines. Culture radiates outward. This was global influence before the modern era. But rebellion struck. The An Lushan rebellion weakened the dynasty. Authority fractured. Stability dissolved. Chang'an did not vanish in a single blaze. It faded, gradually, inevitably. Carthage, the rival that almost won. There was another city that nearly changed everything. Carthage, a maritime superpower in North Africa. Its navy ruled Mediterranean trade. Its wealth rivaled Rome. Hannibal marched elephants across the Alps, an audacity rarely seen in history. For decades, Carthage stood as Rome's equal, until Rome decided equality was unacceptable. The Third Punic War ended not in negotiation, but annihilation. In 146 BC, Carthage burned. By morning, the city was gone. Rome did not merely conquer Carthage, it erased it. History is written by survivors, and sometimes the greatest cities fall not by decay, but by destruction. Reflection, 6 cities, different languages, different gods, different cultures, yet the same belief. They were the center, but the center always shifts. Trade routes move, climate changes, leaders falter, technology evolves. What once seemed permanent becomes a ruined tourist photograph. Walk through modern megacities today. Glass towers replace stone temples. Digital networks replace caravans. But the pattern remains: confidence, expansion, dominance, complacency, decline. History does not repeat exactly, but it rhymes. Nothing built by human hands escapes time. The ruins we explore today were once the future. Somewhere beneath our asphalt and steel, future civilizations may one day walk. They may study us. They may wonder how we fell. If the greatest cities in history collapsed, what makes us so certain we won't? No city rules forever. No empire is exempt. The only constant is change. If history teaches us anything, it is humility and perspective. Here in Timeless Realm, we do not just revisit the past. We study it, we decode it, we learn from the rise and the fall. Because Babylon, Rome, Alexandria, Tenochtitlan, Chang'an, Carthage. They are not just ancient history. They are warnings. They are lessons. They are mirrors. If you seek to understand power, ambition, civilization, and the forces that shape our world, subscribe to Timeless Realm, because the past is not dead. It is watching, and every empire begins with a city that believes it is eternal.